Hello, I'm James, and the game for tonight is Sunless Sea. A menacing red exclamation mark means your enemy is about to launch an attack. Get out of range if you can. We have just returned to London. We have messages to collect. Something has changed in the need. Someone wants to sign on. So first, our lodgings. Okay, I could have sworn that we had recent news. Well, we didn't have recent news. Ah, okay. Now, specialist surgeon, Clatery Air. Her talents could be well employed on your vessel. She is staying at a respectable boarding house near the docks, and has made it known that she is available for work. Specializing amputations. It's easy to acquire unwanted appendages at sea. She comes with a bag full of knives and her own personal sharpening stone. Don't touch these. Don't let anyone else touch them. Okay, we want silk or mount or zzoup from either Savior's Rocks or Carnate or Mount Palmerston. The Learning Scholar. We can drop some ambiguous aoliths. Some of these things were made as tools. Some just look that way. A relic. Oh, I see the knack marks clearly. I rather think there's no human hand that shaped this either. Something from before, or at least I like to think it, and that's what's most important. Truly a person of science. A memory of distant shores, a picaresque pilgrimage, wells of emotion. As the alarming scholar listens, tears will in the depths of those shining, or is it blazing, eyes. They overflow, splashing onto the death water. Stop, he or she sobs at last. This is too beautiful. Allow me to bring the macabre of memories. I wish each individual tone. A Z story. Tale of the Deep. Difficult dictation. Thrilling. Let me hear every detail. First I must find my fountain pen. Oh, how regrettable. It has a spider impaled on the nib. Excuse me. Let me... Good heavens, it's still alive. Pass me that volume of Gibbon. There we go. Do you have another pen? An outlandish artifact, shaped by hands unknown in London. A careful scrutiny. We have something like that, he declares, but not very like that. Interesting. I have some ideas about suitable fees. Okay, let's leave, and then visit the Admiralty's survey office. We'll pay for information from sea captains. Find out what and how. The Admiralty's picket fleets and intelligence networks are long gone. The Survey Office pays sea captains a small sum for recent information. Hunter's Keep. I trust the sisters are keeping well. They are citizens of Her Enduring Majesty, notionally. Shepherd Isles. Submit his unsubstantiated hearsay. We do hear some unlikely tales of that place. Friendly scoffing. I agree, it does seem implausible. So many of the stories from that place do. Still, there's a little gold of truth in the mud of rumor from time to time. Your payment, sir. The Humane Canal. Well, if you've been there, we may as well hear about it. The fee is nominal, though. Breaker's Haven. Been trying the original rubbery lumps, have we? Damel Island. You've been to Damel's Gate? Ask to speak to the dark-spectacled admiral. You have an appointment. No appointment, but apparently I'm to show you in anyway. Very well. Information. Visit a port and will be interested in the port report. Visit places of particular interest and be interested in the strategic information you gain thereby. We will pay you well, don't worry. We understand you can't be expected to act entirely for the love of the Empire. Elizabeth Pearls. What's left of it? Okay, and where to next for them? Mount Palmerston, somewhere northeast of London. Okay. Stock up on supplies. Stock up on fuel, too. Back to London. Carews and wolf-sack docks. There is no danger here. Try to enjoy yourself. This will reduce your terror. You might run into trouble or romance. A marvelous night out. Sea shanties, fine food, and the warmth of a pub fire. And something more. Trouble and romance. That night in Wolfsack, you find yourself sharing a table with the dapper chap. It's not such a coincidence, he protests. I had to meet a ship from home, another one. His eyes meet yours. But it's good to see you. Something more. Shared warmth. New memories. It's harder to say goodbye this time. Lost 10 terror. And we now have something new. Something has occurred. Hey, is that you on here? A notable occasion. Fine then, keep your secrets. Hmm. Okay, nothing more in London. So let's head out. An unexpected letter. Who sent it, and what does it say? You. When I next return to London, I will bring an additional recruit, your child, your sweetheart. A surprise for you on your next return to London. I have taken in a foundling. Your sweetheart, return to London as soon as you may. Sweetheart says, you are a father. Let's go with the foundling. What are they thinking? Is this some scheme of theirs or honest affection? You have a child. Return to London to look after them, and they may become a scion, allowing you to take 2 legacies. Okay. After the foredeck. Oh, probably should have loaded up on mushroom wine while I was back in London. Oh well. Hunter's Keep. Okay. Don't have Salt's attention yet. Luncheon with the sisters, Cynthia. Cynthia is the eldest, melancholy, pensive, occasionally dramatic. Cynthia grasps your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are wide and blue, her hair is wild and tangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you that you are sitting on a hillside above a wide blue lake, listening to a story of a murder, an axe, a net, blood on silky water. Another chop, Cynthia asks. You barely touched your food. Here, I'll have the maid wrap something up for you. You can't be hungry. It's not safe to be hungry. Okay, and now, next up, Benderbite. And then west, see if we can find Mount Palmerston. Dust echoes, giving a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around Tomb Calm. We have bats. Quite enough to finish them off. The waves are flecked with light. An unorthodox diet. Those little bones are troublesome and the flesh a little gamey, but soften well enough and they're quite edible. Discovered Tanachuk. Far off, very far off. Someone screams. The tomb colony of Vanderbite. On deck, you can hear the sound of 1,000 bandaged dead make as they shuffle and cough. Something like the world's most restless concert audience, or the world's most plague-ridden cathedral. Someone trying to get your attention. One of the tomb colonists taken an obvious interest in the crew, specifically the clatory air. Voiceless. The tomb colonist draws you a little way away from the clatory air. Don't tell her you met me, he says in a hoarse rasp. My mother cut my voice. Hoped she'd fix it, but I wouldn't be able to look for my daughter, so I wouldn't want to. He wheezes. Didn't work. Operations never completely effective. Need to know my daughter's well. Happy, finding enough patients, getting enough to eat and so forth. In exchange for the simplest news, he explains himself. I'm her father, he says. Ordinary engineer, not the sort of parent she would want. Visit a certain little restaurant. Fine cuisine in Vanderbite? Now that would be something. A corkscrewed street. At the twisty tip of an odd little side street, broken yellow light glows from the gilt-lettered windows of the restaurant. A sign reads, Vengeance of Jonah. A beefy tomb colonist bustles up. A grey mustache pokes impertinently out from under his bandages. Come in, come in. A bandaged poissonnier at Vanderbite seeks passage with a tea captain sympathetic to intrepid cuisine. Found the vengeance of Jonah. Don't have enough to recruit him yet. The food here is exceptional. We need not fear poisoning or boredom. Definitely not boredom. Good, but you eat with gusto and leave with relief. That night you dream of the writhing river, that watercourse where parabola flax grows and nightmares spawn. Perhaps the vengeance of Jonah has been purchasing their spices from behind the mirrors again. And it was 60 echoes. Now there's some gossip. Now I have a port report on vendor bite. And lastly, let's go exploring. Here they favor candlelight over gaslight. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb columnists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture, until they laugh or cough. One building in 3 seems abandoned. A serpent image. Here, a sailor shouts, there's something nestled in the mossy crook of a gray-leafed tree. A wooden serpent, lacquered with black, red, and yellow. Its eyes are garnet flakes. That'd fetch a good price at the bazaar, the sailor observes. But it has a cursy look, points out another. Take it anyway. Perhaps you can find a way to allay their fears. An Ophidian gaze. You've no idea what the thing is. You put it on the shelf next to your antique sextant. But the ruddy glitter of its eyes gives you the creeps. Eventually, you leave a hat on top, so you don't have to look at it. Meanwhile, 2 sailors complain that they're dreaming of empty jungles. Okay, let's go. And steer clear of that snow. I think it's snow anyway. We're trying to go northwest, not to the far north. A ship's horn, far away. The world is webbed with invisible lines. You've crossed one. Tighten them and it would split like a fruit. Start drawing a target on that. Just in case. First strike. All clear. Scoop it up. Perhaps you can eat it. Better yet, perhaps your sailors can. Some supplies. Okay, that's a white down there. A white ship. distant bells. Fed the crew. Okay. There's a light trail. Let's follow it. The crawling stars. The lookout shouts. Far above, the false stars in the cavern roof are shifting. A rare and ominous event. What now? Record the change and assign a name. If the new shape seems well-omened, your crew may be cheered. Who knows? The raid wheel. One sailor claims it resembles the sun. Another, a Hindu mandala cross. A third suggests the rose window of Chartres Cathedral. This excites mockery. Nevertheless, the reaction is positive. A glassy chop of dark water, iron clatter of feet at the hatchway. That's probably a civilian. The baked breeze rises, the improbable scent of stone out of some distant desert. You are close to the salt. The air trembles, a breath of change passes. Okay, let's... salt lines, some distance to the southeast. Okay, let's head toward it. Yes, there's the salt lines. Lights up, so we can take a look at them. Discovered the salt lions. Discovered Zeal Port. The air carries the scent of salt and shadows. The salt lions. There is a vast sorrow in their empty eyes. Two basalt beasts, cathedral size. They frown eternally at each other across the black waves. The north one carries an encampment. Leaping human figures eat away at its features like rot. Picking. There is a supply dock below. Compile a port report. Time, basalt, dissolution. Record the activities of the unmakers, such as they are. right of stone and silence. Let's see. Salt's writes, the face of the northern sphinx is all but gone. Lost faces are sacred to salt, they say. You are drawn there. What end? Salt's voice is distant but clear. Into the Z. Dive from the sphinx's face down a clean arc into the Z's chilly darkness. Float there in the quiet until your lungs are bursting, until light blooms behind your eyes. Rise gasping to the prickle of false stars, the shocked faces of your crew. Brought something with you. Okay, discharge Seven's attention for an extraordinary implication. How can such a thing be? Who but you could understand what it means? And that's all we can do here. And you start heading back. Got only 3 fuel left. Light out, don't want to get attention from you. Not at under half hull. What is this over here? The world is webbed with invisible lines. Once more. Crossed one. Tighten them and it would split like a fruit. Brisk spatter of spray. The Unter Z is restless. Okay, it's down this way. We have entered a fog bank. Our gunners struggle to see the foe. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. Here, the wilder airs mingle with the airs of the near reaches. Demau's Gate, named for a navigator lost above. How did his bones come below? Okay. Let's hit Demau Island on the way back. No, let's head directly back. Ouch. 10 damage, lost 1 crew. Fuel reserves are empty. Keeping ahead of it. For now, anyway. Hopefully it'll lose interest. And we're out of fuel. Desperate measures. Without fuel, your ship is just an oddly shaped house located somewhere you really don't want to live. Make a sacrifice to stone. Make a sacrifice to stone. You don't have salt's attention. We've got a bunch of supplies, though. Search your supplies for something of use. There must be something you can repurpose as fuel. Kind of success. It smells like burning rags, but it'll satisfy the engine's hunger for a little while. Lost 2 supplies, gained 1 fuel. All clear. The angler crab has given up. Lights up. We're almost home. Desperate measures is back, but we should be able to get more fuel before we pull back into dock. Or when we get back into dock. Waves slap the side of the ship. Far below, something moves. Returning to London. The lights of London welcome you home. A breath of relief. As soon as the gangplank touches the quayside, the terrors of the deep sea lighten. Walk taller, smile more readily. What dreams may cling. Terror is always reduced to 50 when you return to London if it's fire. However, if the terror was high, you may suffer nightmares later. Now, of one menace, nightmare's strength. Collect messages from the harbor master. All the clatter and song of the dockside, it soothes the soul. Are there messages for you? This, let's see. Okay, let's start by talking to the Admiral. No, let's start with the survey office. We can find it. Fenderbite. What have the nearly dead been up to then? Okay, that got us some fuel. The salt lines. The bazaar has always taken an interest in that place. And I forgot to grab one for Hunter's Keep. Who awaits our attention? How about the genial magician? Good afternoon, sir. Perhaps I can do your engines. No, haha. I'm quite the engineer. Difficult to credit, isn't it? But here are my references. Welcome aboard. I'll just get to work below. Perhaps I should change out of this jacket first, of course. Okay. And now, our surgeon and our genial magician. Okay, iron veils and engine power, mirrors, veils, penalty to parts. A new arrival. You, your sweetheart, and your child. What will your child call you? Prove your lodgings first. You can't raise a child in a room above a pub. Well, people do, but your sweetheart expects better. Can we do that? We cannot. We need 1,000 echoes for that. Okay, let's see if we can get some more fuel. Visit the Admiralty fuel stores. If you've done good work, the Admiralty will issue you with a book of little chippies. Success. The quartermaster is not usually friendly, but you have enough sailors' jokes and harbor gossip to set her laughing nostalgically. He is remarkably liberal about the measurement of fuel. Yeah, gained 3 fuel, in total 5. Let's do this again. In total 7. Success, eventually. The good, free fuel. The bad, a half-hour argument with the quartermaster, who insists that your shitties have not been stamped by the Office of Incongruous Requests. Eventually, she grudgingly permits you to load your fuel cart. And then while we're at it, let's stop by Admiralty Yards. And we call in some of your Admiralty favors to have cheap, good quality work done on your ship. This will completely repair your hull. It's 24 echoes. It's 3 Admiralty favors. But our hull is now 75. Okay, now. Have enough fuel for a vendor one easily. Not so sure about supplies, but we plan to stop in Hunter's Keep on the way up there. And maybe take a swing past forgot to drop off my news at Vendor again. An outlandish artifact, shaped by hands unknown in London. Gained 100 echoes. Okay. Now in better shape. Extraordinary implication. A tantalizing plum. Scent of secrets. Replace it with the others. One day I will have enough. Okay, that's a decent chunk of change we've got now. Okay, now let's get ready for a vendor bite run. Lots of wine. And off we go. Lights out while we're in home waters. First, a stop at Hunter's Keep. The crawling stars, the lookout shouts, far above, the false stars in their cavern roof are shifting. Rare and ominous event. What now? Record the change again. The Z-Bat. Bats his luck, a gaff-toothed stoker avers. All agree. Leathery but lucky. Recurring nightmares. You have begun to dream of a vast eye. It knows you. You cannot evade its gaze. A black and unsleeping taste. Again and again, you are alone on the wide black Z. The eye is aware. Your nightmare will come upon you from time to time, inspiring terror. In restful nights at your lodgings to help you resist it. If you defeat it, you may gain a secret. Hunter's Keep, a hump of dark rocks swathed in mist, like 100 other under the islands. But here's a grand house, windows aglow, long and possibly green blush in the false starlight. Raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship's sides. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. Reconnoiter the island. Plunging cliffs, soft green lawns, a well tucked away in a fold of the grounds. Anything else? The sea's silence. Ships rarely come here. Nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle, the house and the sisters. The Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed, at least. Let's talk to Cynthia again. Okay. Now, next up, Fenderbite. Okay, there's some northeast over here we haven't quite explored. Maybe Palmerston is that far up. Before we spend fuel exploring, though, let's head up to Demo Line. That. Here are the wilder airs, mix the airs of the near reaches. Demo's Gate, named for a navigator lost above. How did his bones come below? Something drifts face down. Okay, straight that way. Wait, where do these lights lead? No, not yet. And we've been made. Backing away slowly, back away a bit more quickly. All right. That was close. Very close. Way too close. We're at a third of our hull, and so 7 through. Okay, death of an angler. The shell is shattered. The glowing Ilikai lies silent. Let's butcher it. For supplies and occasionally other oddities, you have an unprepossessing mass and tents and other supplies. Open an unprepossessing mass. There's probably something horrible inside. And possibly there is not. Suitable for smoking. You can probably preserve this to eat at your leisure. Edible once roasted into submission. Will serve, but the smoke brings a kind of horror, a waking dream, a kinesthetic sense of vast things coiling and crushing lightless black. 2 supplies, 1 terror. Okay. All stop. Turn around. Forward we go. Gap up. Okay, Demo Island is down there. Electric shiver to the air. Storm is watching, the sailors would say. Demo Island, a fervid forest of fungus. And Misery Company Funging Station. I&M has a plunger operation growing giant bulbous mushrooms for building materials, harvesting curally for its medicinal properties. The desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up pops the affable factor. Oh, hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. We'll go quite mad out here otherwise. Quite mad. How can we be of assistance? Port report first, always. Let's take tea with the factor. An interlude. You sit on the veranda of the factor's house, looking out over the fungal jungle. An expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores. The stones are stale. Even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the factor is good company. It shares odd stories about the Gant Pool where monsters swarm. About the seductions of the principles of coral. Infestation at Featherhaven. He also has a load of bulbous frond to cart aboard your ship. He waves away your thanks. I have eaten so much of the stuff that I fear I might be transformed entirely into fungus. He leans confidentially towards you. It happens, you know, but one does have to eat rather a lot of it first. Okay, anything else? Let's not risk terror gain. Not for supplies, we have quite a few already. Recurring nightmare, watched. The sea is bright as milk, false stars above are black on a pitchy bed. Something is watching you. Its gaze enfolds your boat. You are transparent as glass. Flee the nightmare. Turn the helm and flee across the milk-bright sea. This will reduce nightmare's strength. If it reaches 0, the nightmare will fade entirely. If you have any restful nights, they'll reduce the difficulty. An escape. Sea churns in your wake. You pull away from the eye into the shallower waters of waking, but a terror clings. Into terror, lost in nightmare's strength. Nightmare's end. A weight is lifted. Your dreams have passed. That's good. isn't it? Lost a terror. Okay. And so let's take a look at our officers. Maybe chat with them. See if I can improve any of my abilities. You've got enough supplies. Invite her to dine with you. Does she wield a fork the way she wields? Or she works with 2 scalpels at a time over the scalpel and a timed instrument, cleaning open the flesh she's working on. Her operations are brisk and yield very little blood. Invite her to dine with you. Does she wield a fork the way she wields a surgical instrument? Precise bite sizes. The cooked flesh arrives still in its shell. From the claws, 8 legs, body, and head, she renders a dozen neat, bite-sized piles of shredded flesh, sutured with mushroom, or pinned together with a needle of python. Perhaps she has missed a calling as a chef. She denies it. My mother was the child of a surgeon in the first city, who might sit at knife work runs in the family. There is a wicked, quirky smile at the corner of her mouth. Then there are the rumors about my father. She would deny there's any truth in those. Okay. What other officers? Do we have anyone who can help us with iron or cages? We don't have a gunnery officer at the moment. So probably not iron. Oh, maybe an astronaut? Nope. Maybe veils. Increase your veils. A magician never reveals his secrets. He does, however, trade them. Parting the veil. On the surface, darkness is the absence of light. Underneath, from a particular perspective, the opposite is true. He wants to go to the Sea of Lilies. Where's your hearts? Spend a secret to include your hearts, but no higher than 50. Roverare. Sorg Torkubund. Palmerston. And 1 hearts. And mirrors. No, wait. Captain, my sleep is riddled with dreams, sir. Dreams of bells and candles. A destination. He paces the deck. I see a lonely house lit by tallow and wick. A bell is ringing. It rings now. Do you hear it? He scratches at his sigil, which has begun to bleed. Do you know this place, Captain? Can I plot a course? A place of candles and bells, the chapel of lights, a northern church where no sin is too terrible. Here's your mirrors. Maybe one of your secrets can drag something out. I'm sorry, it's the pain. No, this is what you wanted, I think. He is eager to instruct you, like a drowning man striking for air, but he struggles to put words to his understanding. Does his sigil give him insights, or is his old learning he has failed to forget? Gained in mirrors. Okay. Let's move. Okay, next up, to the salt lions. Okay, just about that heading. Right, I'll have to conserve fuel. Ah, the Alcaeus class corvette. Light up. Start backing away. Moment to kidding. Okay, now we back up. Shipwrecked. Your ship founders. There are screams. Flood of dark water. The unforgettable sound of a ship's spine breaking. Slip beneath the waves. Perhaps you'll be remembered in song. No more. Sleep. No memoirs. Quality of lodgings. Quality is gone. The zzoup does not forgive, and it has not forgiven your third captain. In memoriam, Sir Henry Winthrop Smith died June 14th, 1888. Okay, we have no legacies unlocked. Let's keep Maybe's daughter. I was Sir Henry Winthrop Smith's shipmate. Pneumatic rat sender can assist with battle repair. Captain's making. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. Now it lies a mile below the surface. It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone, but it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the zzoup. Past wreathed in shadows. For now, you're a mystery. A mystery named Shadowed Stranger. And the death of our old captain is a good place to call it. I have been James. The game has been Sunless Sea. Thank you for watching. Thank you also for liking and subscribing. Good night.